Last week, I attended Echo Live with my good friend Ryan Speaks Geek, and on the way back, he surprised me with this wonderful collection of droids. It's something that we've been talking about for a while. He was moving parts of his collection on to focus on other areas, and he'd sort of said to me a long time ago that he had these droids up for sale if you want them. And yes, what you see here is a selection of droids that I needed to fill in the gaps in my own collection. So we've decided to do a trade of sorts. I still have a few items to put together in a package to Ryan, but he was kind enough to hand these over to me when we said goodbye after Echo Live, which was just a wonderful surprise. Picked up quite a lot of goodies from Echo Live as it was. So then to come home with an instant droid collection after all that was just well, pretty mind blowing. And as you can see, some of these droids are maybe on the rarer side, and maybe some of them rather sought after. At least for me, anyway. I mean, it's all we all collect differently. These are all droids that I needed in my collection, and yeah, I'm excited to go through them in more depth. So when you get an instant droid collection like this, it can be quite hard to identify, not by what film they came in, although that is a struggle in itself, but just the numbering, the lettering, the names of these droids, because obviously they all have fairly similar uh, codes to them, like R2D2, R5D4, and so on and so on. I'm using the Steve Sansweet Ultimate Action Figure Collection book, which came out 2012. I mean, it's well over 10 years old now, but it's a fantastic resource. Anything up to the end of the vintage collection 1.0 is covered in here in great detail as well, I might add. And yeah, it's just a really good resource of all things action figures 3.75 related. So everything is in alphabetical order. It tells you the name of the droid, the year that they came out, the collection. So you can see here, like R4C7 was part of the ARC 170 Elite Squad. It was part of the 30th anniversary battle pack, so TAC 30th anniversary, and it tells you what episode or what film or what story it came from. So this is from Clone Wars, Clone Wars rather than the Clone Wars. So it's the Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars series. So that's this blue and red domed astromech here. I do have the sort of Tiger Shark Arc 170, although it's a little worse for wears. I'm just going to grab that. So this is the Arc 170. I'm not going to zoom out or anything. It's a little worse for wears. It's got a bit of paint scuffing. It was part of a job lot that I got, quite a local job lot actually, just down the road from me. And you'll see that the astromech fits in the top here. It's not complete. There's a lot of things missing from it. I don't have the pilots. I don't have the clone troopers. But I thought that's a project for another time. And this droid is needed to complete that ship. All right, I'm going to go through this in order. We'll start around the other side and work our way back. But there's droids from as far back as I think 2001, the Star Tours line, going all the way up to the Legacy Collection and the Disney Build-A-Droid line, or the Disney Droid Factory line, because they took that on from the Legacy Collection. I will start with one of those Disney parks or Disney Droid Factory droids. This is R2 Boo. This was part of a 4-pack. I love the colouring on it. So it's part of a 4-pack. The other 3 aren't part of this haul, but I do like the colour scheme here. I think there's some characters that it will go quite well with. Again, I do like matching the droids to a particular character. Just gives you sort of just gives you a good combo, I think. Yeah, so R2 Boo. We've then got another one from the Disney Droid Factory. Okay, next up we have R5M4. This was a single release, Disney Droid Factory, as part of sort of May the 4th Yeah, they do these droids sporadically throughout the year. They've been doing them a number of years. They do give sometimes a backstory or gives you an indication of what planet they might have originated from. So this one here apparently resides on Mustafar. So as far as my collection goes, I do have that Revenge of the Sith display, and I do have a Mustafar display. So he'll probably just hang out in the background, maybe with the lava miners. Yeah, again, the color scheme's great. It's it's a unique droid, it's a different droid, and to be honest, if you didn't want him there, it could probably go well in an Imperial lineup. Moving on, we've got this one, R4M9. So R4M9 is a designation that was given to one of the Imperial droids that you see on the Tantive 4 when the Imperials storm the ship at the start of A New Hope. Although this R4M9 is part of the Star Tours line. This came out around, I'm going to say 2001, 2002. I love the sort of cone-shaped dome. They're less common, I guess, in terms of the droids that you see. Retractable leg. They've all got different sculpts to each other. The previous two have a similar sort of build-a-droid sculpt, which means all the parts come apart. You can mix and match. So again, anyone not familiar with these, although you probably are if you're watching this channel, all the parts do come apart. You can mix and match. But the R4M9, no, from 2002, that was these are solid sculpts. And anything from that time will have used a similar sort of buck. The landing gear, the middle leg does sort of retract, not all the way, not fully, but somewhat. But yeah, the Star Tours line, I've got one other droid from Star Tours. It's not a line that I've got in my collection really, so maybe at some point I'll look to fill in some more of the gaps. Again, there's always something as a Star Wars collector that we don't have. We all collect different things, obviously. That's what makes looking at other people's collections quite fun, because you see what they focus on. That's R4M9. This next one, Whistler. So with the sort of the green and silver dome, this was part of the Legacy Collection Droid Factory 2-packs. Now, this came out sort of around 2009, so they did a few packs in 2008. So there were 6 of them, sort of 2-packs, so like a pilot and a droid, or General Grievous and a droid, or Maul and a droid. In 2009, they continued that. This was one. It came with Corran Horn, which is an X-Wing pilot from the sort of Rogue Squadron comics. I believe this one was Jedi. This astromech is just called Whistler. Rotating dome with the sort of sensor scope that goes up and down, which is a nice little touch. Despite coming out in the Legacy Collection, it doesn't actually have the removable parts. That came slightly later, although I tell a lie. The middle foot will come out, but no, the rest of it is not considered part of the Legacy Collection Build-A-Droid line, but it was part of the Legacy Collection Droid Factory line. You can go down a rabbit hole with this. When it gets to the Legacy Collection, there are so many astromechs. They had this wonderful Build-A-Droid initiative, so for every wave of figures you get, each figure would come with a droid part, and if you collected the whole wave, you'd get a droid at the end of it. And we'll show some of those as we move around this little table here. So moving on, we've got one that I was quite pleased to pick up. This came out in the Saga collection around 2006. So there were 2 astromech packs. There were 5 packs of astromechs. I didn't have either at the time. They're quite hard. Not hard, but they're quite expensive to get on the secondary market. I've got the odd one that I'm sort of picking up as and when. And Ryan was kind enough to separate some of his out, so I could pick up this droid. This one can be seen in A New Hope on the Death Star. So it's an Imperial droid. Don't be fooled by the markings, white and red with a clear dome. That is an Imperial astromech seen on the Death Star. From original trilogy to the prequel trilogy, and this is the classic Build-A-Droid sculpt. So this was part of the regular Legacy Collection line. Every part comes apart, so the dome, the legs, the body separates from all of it. R4P44 or R4P44. Seen in Revenge of the Sith. I'm not going to tell you. Well, on Coruscant, I think possibly when they're preparing to go to, I would say Utapau or Kashyyyk, he's sort of seen on in amongst some sort of clones as they're preparing to board one of their, again, not a Star Destroyer, but you know what I mean, one of those Republic ships. Yeah, again, lovely colour scheme. A droid that I didn't think I'd own for quite a while because he's part of one of the later waves of the Legacy Collection. Anything in the sort of second year of the Legacy Collection, I think, is commands a higher price, and when it comes to a builder droid, it means you needed to have collected an entire wave just to get the droid. So again, wow, Ryan, blown away. Thank you so much for agreeing to do a trade with me. Okay, moving on. We're into the Clone Wars now, the animated Clone Wars series, the sort of Dave Filoni, George Lucas one. This is 4A7. It's actually from the Clone Wars movie. And yeah, oh man, I love that sculpt. It's it's from, I think, year 2 of Clone Wars, so like sort of 2009 era, and it came with this little hologram piece of Anakin and Ahsoka rescuing Rotta the Hutt. I think I'm going to say RA7 sort of head sculpt, sort of the bug eye look, very sort of Death Star droid. You know, the paint deco is really cool, sort of the sort of kind of like a rusty sort of brass sort of colour. Comes with a blaster. In the movie, he's sort of in league with Asajj Ventress, which is kind of cool, and we know that she's getting a vintage collection release at some point, which is great. Okay, then we've got 3 more droids. We'll sort of show them all off together. They all feature in the Clone Wars at some point or other. We've got Mace Windu's droid on the right. We've got Ahsoka's droid in the middle, and Goldie, who was assigned to Anakin Skywalker for an episode or 2. These versions are from the Disney Droid Factory. Again, there are versions of them that were released by Hasbro in the Clone Wars line. They have sort of more of an animated sculpt about them. I do have a version of Ahsoka's astromech already, but yeah, this was part of the haul. Really cool to get Mace Windu's astromech, or at least astromech in a couple of episodes at least. He's got a purple astromech as well from the Genndy Tartakovsky series. So yeah, this is a second droid for Mace, and an alternative droid for Anakin Skywalker, which is really kind of cool. Moving on then. Wow, we're getting through this now, aren't we? So L8, L9. If you know where this one comes from, then yeah, hats off to you. This is from the Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars series, where we first meet Asajj Ventress, at least on screen, which is really cool. So he's one of the sort of assassins where the Asajj Ventress has to fight. This is part of the test to find a suitable assassin for Count Dooku. So you see this droid go up against Asajj Ventress. He does have flame effects. They're not on show here. Just, I mean, a really unique character as well. None of these parts. This was part of the Legacy Collection Builder Droid line. So one of the things that made it quite easy to sort of collect was that you could mix and match parts. But although you can mix and match parts with protocol droids or whatever, all of these, the limbs, the body, the head, they're all unique to this droid, which is really cool. So he's definitely going on a display. There will be definitely a Tartakovsky Clone Wars dedicated section now in the on the shelves. It's been a while since I've had them out as well, so nice to add a couple more characters to it for when they come back out. Right, well then we end with 2 Legacy Collection builder droids. These are both featured in Attack of the Clones when they visit Tatooine, Mos Espa, and visit Watto. Again, we've got one from the 2008 year of Legacy Collection. So this is the first year of the Legacy Collection. This was the second year of the Legacy Collection. So by all accounts, probably the harder to get of the two droids. Again, just even from just the background scenes of like Attack of the Clones, Phantom Menace, if there's a droid that appears on screen, even for a couple of seconds or even less than that, chances are there is a figure that exists. And if Hasbro didn't cover it up to the Legacy Collection era, then chances are Disney are covering it in their Droid Factory. And that's the beauty of it. Disney's Droid Factory has been going since I think 2012, so again a long time. They have these mix and match parts that you can get at the parks. They do these 4-packs for each movie and TV series that comes along. They do their Pride collection, which sort of comes out at least once a year. They've got Easter droids, Christmas droids, Halloween droids. They do an advent calendar. There's so many now. There's so much selection. I mean, I can't keep up with it. I like to collect the Hasbro stuff, and if a character from the Disney range piques my interest, then I certainly go for it. But yeah, it's incredibly hard to keep up with the droid line as it is. In the background, they need some supervision. We've got a Jawa and my Palatoy Land of the Jawas playset, for which I picked up a little cardboard strut at Echo Live, which you can see in my previous video. Sort of just showing that off because it works as the decent background. And while I've got my Lazy Susan out, I thought I'd do a quick rundown of these droids. Well, that's it for today. I will do a video of where they're gonna appear in my collection. I'll do a full I won't do a full toy room tour because that will take forever, but I will do some select videos on certain shelves once I've got a Clone Wars shelf back up and running. And yeah, I think it's exciting times when you get an entire collection like this in one go. I mean, that's quite it's really quite cool. So thank you to Ryan Speaks Geek for doing his part of the trade early. Not every trade deal has to be bad, does it? Like yeah, this is one of the better trade deals of the year so far. Yeah. And Star Wars is all about trade deals, as we know, thanks to The Phantom Menace. Okay, I'm Dave the Dead. See more Star Wars collecting content from me real soon. I'm sure it will feature more droids and yeah, more surprises along the way. All right, till next time. Thanks very much. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.